gonna do?
Trouble. I mean, you
Just practicing. Getting a screen test.
What? She's happy.
You're supposed to be talking now. Saying something wise.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
We're finally getting a picture of her. She's been taking all the videos. So, well, during the lull and the festivities, get a picture of 3 generations. Good idea. I have to be matching.
If there's anything Gangan likes, it's getting her picture taken at an occasion.
Just about it. Very happy when you get away from that. I got started eating.
I can't hear you.
Okay,
Dad? Dad?
What?
Tell us about digital in the future. What's it going to be like?
It's going to be wonderful.
Really?
Just going to be wonderful.
Wonderful?
Wonderful, wonderful. Gosh, it's going to be great. I mean, it's going to be super.
What we did in Sparta, Tennessee, the ones who were left in the hometown, we were the ones who it was playing. Our life was playing very well by Granny Hill. She wrote to all the Texas people, when are you coming to Sparta in the summer? What month do you want to come to Sparta in the summer? You know, and got new things. Now, of course, Carmine and Chig were bosom buddies. And they weren't too nice to Ellie. I hate to tell all these family secrets. I said, Donald, I'll tell you what, this family has so many children. I don't know how we're ever going to get any attention for our child. I said, I can't think of a thing to do except have twins. And you know, that's exactly what we got busy and did, was have Carnes and Carmine. We had Sale. So that was our 2 girls and 2 boys. We considered that we had the perfect family. When how am I doing, buddy?
Beautifully.
Oh,
You came right to the point and you're sticking to it.
Wynn can hardly stand it when I come to visit him and start telling a story, because I...
Remember, brevity is the soul of wit.
Yes, Pal and Loretta and Justin are here with us. Would you all still stand? Where's Justin? Now, can I stop now? This was just the hardest thing I've ever done. You all made it much easier.
But now that omits a very...
This is Franklin Spears, whom I mentioned earlier. He once was a justice of the Supreme Court of Texas.
The Outlaws. They've earned a distinguished place in the history of the Hill Clan. And tonight, we want to honor by acclamation someone who has distinguished themselves as an outlaw to the extent that we no longer recognize her as being an outlaw. She is, and from this day forward shall be, the emeritus leader of the Hill Clan. And I'd like for Aunt Rebecca Lacey to come forward so we can pay homage and tribute to her. Very simple, but very meaningful. And if you'll each put all of your heart into 3 cheers for the new Dean Emeritus leader of the Hill Clan. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to stand here before this group, so many of whom I know, and so many of whom I hope to know in the future. Thank you again. Good night.
Sarah Ann O'Donnell, followed closely by James O'Donnell wearing his lemon suit.
Who presents this woman to marry this man?
Her mother and I.
Something happened. Let me go check out these kids. That's great.
I really did not intend on. We should have said absolutely no kids. Well, but I can't.
They have another one. There's 2 cards for this one.
It feels wonderful.
Oh, the names were together.
Yeah, we thought.
Bill Hill, all grown up.
I have both sides.
And you can use them both ways.
Yeah, it's like this.
David's wife, Allison Lawrence.
Something is old as
I'm gonna say a few words, and then when I get through, anybody else that wants to say a few words can. But
can't talk.
I say again, we'd like to thank you all for coming and joining with us to celebrate Mother's 90th birthday. And I'm going to call her in this little treatise Mama, because that's what we've always called her. Just to give a little history, Mama was born in Shelbyville, Tennessee, or the environs of Shelbyville, on November the 14th, 1906, so we arranged this weekend. And her father was a physician, and his name was Justin Lacey, but her maiden name was Lacey. And her mother was Georgie, Georgie Lee Bennett. And they named her Rebecca Boone Lacey. And the Boone is what?
My father's
From your father's family, Daniel Boone's brother or something? That's how we got the name Boone. Mom attended college. Grew up in several locations, but attended college at Middle Tennessee State University, which was then called Middle Tennessee State Teachers College. And she graduated from there in 1927, and then did her student teaching there. And what you tell me that one of your students, your student teaching was Al Gore Sr. Ernst. Then after she got through the student teaching, that's when she came to Sparta and got a teaching position at White County High School. And then it was there that she met my father, Malcolm Hill, a local attorney. I don't know if any of you remember him or not, but he died in 1977, 6, a long time ago. 74. Long time. And they were, so he courted her probably a year and a half or so, and they were married in 1929. And you taught for another year, and then you quit teaching, and then some children came along. And then later on, she had some children in the meantime, and later on she went back to teaching and organized the first art department at the new high school and taught art there for several years. I don't know how many years you teach there. Several years, so it's a lot of years.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly.
And it's a constant amazement to me when I take her to church and I take her around other places. People come up and say hello, and they were students of hers, and they keep saying that she was one of their favorite and best teachers that they ever had. And it's just always.
It's amazing to him. Did you hear him?
And so anyway, she had 4 children. Had me, Carnes, and then had a Carmine, my twin sister.
10 minutes later.
And I was told I was 10 minutes older. And then about a year and 3 months later, I had a brother with the name of Oliver, who we call Pal, came along.
Our judge.
Our judge.
14 months.
14 months later. And then about 8 years later, we had another sister born, and her name was Sarah, and we call her Sado. So our family had a Sado, and my father we called Dido. So we had a Sado, a Dido, and Pal in our family. Of course, we said Dad died in 1974. He was a great father. We all miss him. He was really good to all of us. Mama has 11 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren.
And here are some of them, the California and Maryland contingents.
Seriously,
I'm glad you said that.
we all have really a lot, the children especially have a lot to thank her for. She gave us a real loving and nurturing childhood, and that's awfully important, especially when you in this world who can tell you some horror stories about their childhood. So it's a very worthwhile thing. We certainly appreciate it. And she also taught us a good value system. Mother and Dad both taught us real good value systems for living a life, and that's important. And Mama taught us, at least I can appreciate it, taught us good music appreciation. She played classical music for us, and we used to listen to that. So we got an appreciation of good music and art. We got a nice appreciation of art. So that's something. Those two things are really nice attributes to have in your life, and you can enjoy this kind of thing. So I'm going to say that here's to you on your birthday, and maybe when we'll celebrate your 100th birthday.